back in the nick.
Yeah, I must have done. Conditioned reflex, I suppose.
It's Pavlovian. Is that the word?
Probably. I thought some of the lads had gone over the top.
No, it was only the alarm clock.
What's an alarm clock doing in this house? You never got up for a day's work in your life.
Oh, it's Annie. She must have forgot to take it in the spare.
It takes a while, see, to get the nick out of your system.
Yeah, I know. When I come out of Chelmsford, I couldn't get used to sleeping alone.
Who'd you used to sleep with in Chelmsford, then?
Not with, a man. 3 in a cell, weren't we?
I suppose that's your excuse for sleeping with every other woman in Fulham since you come out, is it? Including my old lady for the last 8 months.
Well, like you said, it takes a long time to get stir out of your system. How'd you sleep then?
Not too bad. You was a bit noisy at times.
Noisy?
Yeah, shouting out in your sleep like. And who's Isabel?
Isabel? I don't know any Isabels.
You've probably forgotten her the way you put it about. You was probably engaged to an Isabel at one time. Now she's just a subconscious moan in the night.
You was a bit restless yourself.
What do you expect? After the revelations of your deceit and adultery? Revelations which led me to such depths of despair I flings myself in the Thames? You expect my kip to be tranquil?
Did your life really flash before your eyes as the murky waters closed above your head?
Yeah, sort of flickering images.
What, like one of those, what the butler saw machines?
Yeah, only the images was a bit more profound than a girl taking off her suspenders. It was my whole life.
What sort of resume? Is that the word?
Yeah, probably.
And did you hate me at that moment?
No. No, at that moment, I asked the good Lord in his infinite mercy to forgive you. To forgive you for being such a two-faced, deceitful, underhanded, conniving, wretched specimen of man.
Thank you, George. And did the Lord reply?
No, at that moment, I was fished out by some good Samaritans. So your forgiveness has not yet had divine confirmation.
Point taken. Ah, good here's Annie with our tea.
Hello, love. You must have been up early.
Up and out into the streets where they're shouting the news.
What news?
The whole of Fulham's talking about it, aren't they? About his lordship's leap.
Well, it's not every day you get a suicide attempt. Not round here. It's usually up Chelsea Bridge, isn't it? You know, more neurotic areas like that.
What suicide attempt? He leapt in the Thames to fish out some kid what fell in trying to retrieve his football.
Did you?
Yes, he did. The Pringles boy. Then what has the newsagents off Lily Road.
Well, that's an act of valour, isn't it?
We'll come to the valour in a minute. He has been living off our sympathy under false pretences. When I think of how upset I was. The despair that drove him to contemplate such a desperate act. You have wheeled your way back into my affections, back into my bed, next to the radiator through false pretences.
But he's an hero!
Thank you, Stan. I mean, how many people would perform an act of unselfish heroism, then come home and take stick?
I didn't say I wasn't proud of you, but that's beside the point. It doesn't alter the fact that you're a shameless, barefaced wheedler.
All right. I lied. But I just didn't want no fuss, see? I wanted it to be an anonymous gesture. I didn't want no fuss, no acclaim, no publicity that one would normally expect from an act of heroic and selfless valour.
This kid was drowning and you jumped in? But you can hardly swim.
You don't think of things like that at a time, Stanley.
You're a bleeding hero, Doctor.
Yes, well, I'll just have a shave and get dressed and be on out of here. And be long gone before the newspapers and the television boys arrive. If I can help someone as I go along, then my living will not be in vain.
Well, it might be. He's an hero. It's George Medal time, isn't it?
I feel awful. My only thought was of how he deceived us. And all the time I never realised that that I was an hero's wife.
Hey, the door, Annie!
Oh, my God. It might be the news at 10. Or that nice Michael Parkinson. Oh, what do you want, copper?
George Arthur Dobbs live here?
Not necessarily.
Oh, come on, Annie, stop messing about.
What do you want with my George?
You're going to put the kettle on?
He's only been out of the nick 2 days and already around here sniffing about. His victimisation.
Is he in?
He's never been across the doors, never left this house since he came out of Wandsworth, and I've got witnesses that can testify he was upstairs.
Annie, those are the same words you used to me the night he was out robbing a tyre depot.
For which deed he has paid his full penance. What chance has a man got to go straight? His victimisation?
What's he wanting? What's your game?
I'm looking for Dobbsy.
Dobbsy's never been across the doors.
Oh, God preserve
Now,
us.
what chance has a man got to go straight with Esther handcuff on his back all the time? Harassing him.
Annie, put that kettle on, will you? It's going to be one of those mornings.
Harrison and Hero, moreover.
What do you want, Black?
Just a word in your shell, like.
Listen, I ain't been across the doors. If I ain't been upstairs in bed, I've been playing cards with it.
Dobbsy, you're so conditioned to a life of crime, you only have to sniff a copper and your reflexes are...
Pavlovian?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you was across the doors yesterday afternoon, weren't you?
Who says so?
According to eyewitness reports, you was performing an act of distinguished heroism.
Well, that's different. I just didn't want no fuss, did I?
Oh, that's a pity, because the press would like a picture. You and the lad down the hospital, rescuer and rescued. But I mean, it's up to you, Dobbsy, if you don't want any fuss.
Oh, I think it's only our duty that we go down there. Have I got time to have my hair done?
Yeah, better get me out a clean shirt, go, eh?
Oh, yes. I thought this was supposed to be an anonymous gesture.
George has an obligation to the public. You can come if you smarten yourself up a bit.
Nothing to do with me, is it?
No, nothing at all. After all, there's only so much room in a photograph.
Well, don't let me detract from your day of glory. No, I shall just go back to bed and rest my bed back. Means there'll be no one to get my lunch. However, my life flashed before me as the murky waters closed above me.
Did we say something?
Sour grapes, isn't it?
Right then, Dobbsy. I'll send a car down for you about 11 o'clock. Take you to St. Stephen's.
Yeah, not too much fuss, so, eh?
Hey? Oh, all right then. I'll cancel a motorcade and the march past.
Oh, don't put yourself out.
I think I'll wear my blue dress. Oh, no, a suit would be more appropriate. I'll wear my beige suit with the fur trim.
Have I got a decent tie?
Stan has. George, having just snatched their child from the jaws of death, do you think the Pringles will let us off our paper bill?
Hello, what's all this then? Oh, I see Harrisman. Only been out 2 days and already Harrisman.
off, Biggie.
Yeah. Well, you got nothing on Dobbsy, my lad. He was with me all day. Never across the door.
Hey, Steve Spigsy.
What? Why? I mean, what's it to you?
Well, let's see what you got in here, shall we?
You never smile when you have your photograph taken. You always glare.
Well, that's probably because I've got nothing to smile about when I'm being photographed. It's usually mug shots, isn't it, when I'm going in the nick?
I haven't got one decent photo of you.
Where's wedding shots?
In the wedding photos, if you remember, you was always looking after over one shoulder, because the night before, you and the best man was out robbing a filling station. I've never forgiven you for that. The night before our wedding.
Oh, come on, girl. How could we have furnished that little flat we had without them trading stamps we nicked?
I spent half the honeymoon licking stamps and sticking them in books. My tongue swelled up to twice its normal size.
Yeah, well, we got some nice things, though, didn't we, down at Redemption Centre?
We got some useless things. What was going to come in handy when you'd made it big? When we was living in sun-soaked splendour in Acca bloody Pulco.
One day, girl, one day.
What use is a snorkel? And what if the cat sets off that harpoon gun one night?
Ah, yes. Home is the hero, is it?
Hello, love. I'll get you some lunch in a minute.
Oh, don't put yourself out.
Look at this.
We don't look too cheerful, do we?
Still, evening news.
It's only the racing edition.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, they'll probably drop that for the later editions once they get some real news in.
Just sour grape stand, just 'cause Georgie's got his picture in the paper.
I've had my picture in the paper.
Not as an hero, you haven't. When you had your picture in the paper, what was the caption? Have you seen this man? Okay.
I can get you open a tin of soup if you like.
Oh, I'm not hungry.
I wonder who's at the door.
Oh, it'll be well-wishers and autograph hunters.
Who's here?
Oh, no, it's a reporter from the Police Gazette.
I suppose I better put the kettle on.
Bless you, Annie.
You seen the papers?
Aye. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Bet you don't smile a bit more.
Yeah, you're not going to make an habit of coming round here, are you? I mean, we've got the neighbours to think about.
Yeah, well, I've come round here on a matter of a rather delicate nature. You see, I've just come back from the Pringles.
Oh, the Pringles. The proud and greatly relieved parents.
Yeah. You see, while you, Annie, and the Pringles were round the hospital for that joyful reunion which the London evenings have covered so movingly, the Pringles had their comfortable little business turned over.
Never.
They've been done.
And you Christmas Eve here.
Poor souls, and what with yesterday?
You can't trust no one.
What sort of person would do a thing like that?
Well, normally, your sort of person.
It's larceny or libel or whatever they calls it. Don't you come round this house with your aspersions.
Listen, I ain't been across the doors, if I ain't been... Well, what am I saying? Of course I have. You know where I've been, down the hospital.
He's never been out of sight of police nor press.
Harassment. What chance does a man stand?
An hero at that.
All right, calm down, all of you, calm down. Now, let's look at this calmly and rationally. Let us put aside the emotional issues of today, and what do we got? We have got a robbery. And whenever you have a robbery anywhere between Sloane Square and the Gold Hawk Road, you and Stan automatically qualify as suspects.
Yeah, but Lee...
Am I right?
I suppose so.
A felony has been committed, and I'm merely conducting inquiries amongst known felons.
Yeah, a known felon, possibly, but he's not a miracle worker. He can't be down the hospital on the one hand and turning over a newsagent off Lily Road on the other.
Yeah, and even if I could, would I rescue their one and only 1 minute and empty their till the next?
We're getting emotional again, aren't we? I mean, try to see it from my point of view. The detached, analytical eye of the investigatory officer. Now, let me try and put myself in your criminal shoes. There I am, with the Pringles down at the hospital in celebratory mood. Those nice people with a flourishing little business, and I suddenly thinks to myself, hello, who's minding the store then? Think I'll give Stan a ring.
Stan?
Me?
Your collaborator of old.
I wouldn't work with him anymore. He's been collaborating with my old lady. Come with the old dame while I've been in the nick. He's only living here now on the strength of his alleged bad back.
He's not alleged. I'm bedridden.
Oh, dear. Yeah, but you were seen earlier today down the North End Road.
Oh, was he? I thought you couldn't move your back.
I just staggered down the chemist to get some imbrication.
Can you prove where you were?
Oh, yes, I've got witnesses.
Here, listen, you can't possibly think that he's...
No, lads. As I said, I'm cynical. I'm very sorry. But I must go by experience in the book, so if you don't mind, we'll just have a look round.
You got a warrant?
No. But as you know, I can very soon get one. And as you've got nothing to hide.
What a liberty. Well, go on, then.
Thank you, Dopsy. Annie, 3 cups.
Will you tell them to wipe their feet? I don't want Wallis with muddy boots all over my carpet.
Harassment.
Come in, lads, and wipe your feet.
Experience. Analytical. What about your basic trust in human nature? Your basic humanity? What about that fundamental instinct that tells you when to trust your fellow man? Imbrication, you lying git.
Right, lads, wait in the car. I'll be out in a minute. Well, that's it then.
Getting more like Russia every day, this country.
You find a gold bullion then, did you?
Dopsy, forgive me asking. Where did you get the harpoon gun and the snorkel?
Wedding presents for our honeymoon.
Who'd you spend it with, Jacques Cousteau?
We spent it in Moulton-on-the-Marsh in November. There was no central heating and it poured every day. Hence the bleeding snorkel.
Yeah, well, I'll be off then.
I can't just shrug this off, no.
I'll beg your pardon.
We can't just shrug this off, can we? This has been an invasion of civil liberties.
Right, Stan. And if I get a medal or a commendation or an award, which I so rightly deserve, I shall send it back. I shall send it back in protest against what this once great nation has become.
Hey, George, we've been invited down the town hall tomorrow afternoon.
Town hall?
The mayor and his good lady would like you personally to take tea with them.
Tea with the mayor?
A town hall?
The mayor.
Tea?
Yeah, and a top of sherry as well, I should think. Only the mayor in his robes, isn't it? Just think, in one afternoon from suspect to dignitary.
Well, what's all this then? Just now you were saying how you was wanting to protest against what this once great nation has become.
Yes, well, we all know some of us ain't been included in the invitation, so some of us is turning nasty.
I can't wear this beige suit again.
Or shall you, girl? You'll wear something befitting a balcony.
Balcony.
Who knows, we might be there, mightn't we? Doing our regal wave, acknowledging the cheers from a throng of ordinary folk and the gentlemen of the press.
Hey, Dobsy, for God's sake, practice your smile.
Stan, he might be getting a medal and we might have to go to the palace.
Well, it might not be a medal, it might be a commemorative scroll.
They've got a big balcony.
Yeah, or some sort of emblem, you know.
We've never had a medal in the family.
Yeah, they give medals for anything these days, don't they? I mean, it's meaningless since the Beatles got the MPE. Now, all it does is debase the currency of people who earn real medals, like my father in the war.
Leave off. Your old man took all his medals off dead Germans.
All he ever took off dead Germans was wristwatches. His medal was his own.
Yeah, well, anyone can get a medal in the army. I mean, you've only got to be in it to qualify for your first one, haven't you? I mean, your old man spent most of the war in the Ordnance Depot at Shoebury Ness, but he was still a riot of colour over his left breast.
If, and I say if, he was to get awarded something, you telling me you'd accept it? An establishment sop? Are you telling me that you'd align yourself with the authorities and the police and the mayor? Has prison taught you nothing?
Look, mate, I ain't accepting no tribute to smarm up to the establishment. Work it out. The next time I'm in the dock, God forbid, that little medal ain't half gonna come in handy. I'm playing in the head, insurance-like. You think of the emotional sway a medal has over a jury.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that.
No, you never do stop to think, you don't. But I've got something up here. And I only rescued a kid, didn't I? Now, in the mind of the great British public, a child is second only to an animal.
George is right. He can hold his head high now in any court in the country.
Your Honour, my client admits to these charges, but he has been unable of late to obtain regular employment, owing to the blinding headaches and dizzy spells what he suffers from, as a result of his daring leap into the Thames to save the life of an infant child. Only last week he had to pawn his medal so his wife could have shoes on. Well, there won't be a dry eye in the court, will there?
That's like Charlie Lamb. That's how he always gets clemency, because of his artificial arm. That always gets people's sympathy. And if he's up for a really serious offence, he leaves it at home.
It all helps, isn't it? That's my point.
Who's this?
Oh, it'll be the people who put the blue bleeding plaque on the wall. Then I suppose they'll change the street to Dobbs Street. It'll be the Dobbs Foundation, the George Arthur Dobbs Memorial Prize for Grit, and the Dobbs Home for Harmless Ex-Prisoners.
Gentlemen.
You see what's happening now? The police just call round for a cup of tea and a chat.
I'm not making any more tea.
No, I came round first of all to apologise for my unfounded suspicions.
Unfounded?
Yeah, they got the two who did the Pringle job. Just kids they were, trying to flog the stuff round the pubs last night.
Modern youth.
So, as I say, I owe you an apology.
Yeah, you do and all, violating our privacy.
Yeah, well, it's the job, you see. Makes you cynical and distrustful. Always assuming that whatever people are up to, it must be skullduggery.
Well, let this be a lesson to you, my son.
I will, George. Oh, and by the way, Stan, I checked your witness out. The young lady confirms you were with her.
Me osteopath. Yeah, you goes round there and she walks on your back. Yeah, the doctor put me onto her.
No hard feelings, then?
You was just doing your job, Blackie, despicable as it may be.
Yes, well, just so long as we've cleared the air. Oh, just one other thing. You weren't at your osteopath this afternoon between the hours of 2 and 4, were you?
Me? I've never been across the doors. I've been sat here, haven't I?
Why?
It's just that while you and your good wife were taking tea at the town hall, the mayor had his house turned over. They took everything portable, including his chain of office.
Ah, just a minute, just 1 minute, Sergeant Bloody Black. What have we been through all this yesterday? All this harassment, this unjust violation of privacy and civil liberties?
Try and see it my way.
You've just done apologising for your way. You've just told us how stinking awful your way is.
Yeah, but as you said, Dobbsy, I'm only doing my job. So, if you don't mind, I'll have a quick shufty.
No, you don't. You just shift yourself out of here. I've only just finished clearing up from last time.
I can get a warrant.
Well, get one. You go and get one, my son. Anything that makes life that little bit more difficult for you, because we're going back to basics. We're going back to the fundamental principles that separate you and us. Now, clear off, copper.
I'll be back.
Right. That settles it. I will be sending that medal back. And letters of protest to the Times. And my MP and the Archbishop of Canterbury. I mean, what chance has a man got? We're tainted, we are, Stan. Tainted with the stigma of our penal system. I'm glad you told him where to go, Annie. You were right, girl. Never give an inch.
Yeah, I'm glad and all, girl. And relieved.
Why?
Gives me a chance to get shot of this.